So I'm going to share. Can everybody see my screen? Good.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. So the first question was for you to plot all the functions on the axis using the Desmos app. So and you can see the screenshots of what it should look like. It's this. I believe everybody got that. I haven't checked. Everybody's like I said. And from this, the first question is for what is the X intercept of each of this? And you could see that they all have the same X intercept. Okay, so you don't have to write it one by one if they are all the same. So for all the 5 functions plotted, the X intercept are this and this, that's correct. One of them is this point and the other is this point. And the next thing is what is the geometric significance of A in the function? So you could see clearly that whenever A is positive, you have a minimum 1, and whenever A is negative, you have the maximum function. So that's what she meant by this. It determines how wide or narrow, yeah, you could say that. But the major thing is the maximum minimum. She's right about how wide or narrow actually. So the smaller the value of A, the wider the curve is. So let's see what that means. Now the one in black here is half, and you could see it's wider and it's maximum compared to when it was 1. The one is in green. You could see that it's not as wide as the black one. It's still maximum. Look at the -3, which is in purple. If I could enlarge this. Okay. Just a sec. Okay. Is it better now, the view? Okay, so which is in purple. Let me see if I can enlarge it more. Okay. So look at that. The purple one, the absolute value of A. Okay, I'm talking about absolute value, not talking because if I say the smaller, -3 is smaller than -1, and it's smaller than half. Do you get -half? Do you understand? So we can say the absolute value of A, not so Lillian. I think you could say the smaller the value of absolute value of A, something like this. Lillian, do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think this would be better to use instead of the smaller the value of A, okay? All right, so when the absolute value is 1, let's start with the smallest absolute value, which is this. You could see that is the widest, then followed by this, which is the green one, then followed by -3, which is the purple one. Can you see that? That's what she meant by that. And also when A is negative, you have the maximum. When A is positive, you have the minimum. So that makes so much sense. So now the second investigation is to plot these functions. And in this case, you were asked to, this is where you have different intercepts. Okay, so we notice that the intercepts, the x-intercept, which I think everybody knows, is when y equals 0. So basically solving this equation, and solving this equation when y is equal to 0 is simply solving this equals to 0, which is just x is equal to 1 and x is equal to 4. And in each case, y is equal to 0. And here, x will be 0, of course. So on the question, what is the significance of P and Q? P and Q determine the intercept of x-intercept of the function, not just the intercept. Now here is another one. You have to plot this, and we could see that, okay, side by side, all touching the x-axis. So the question, first question was the intercept. So the intercept again are these values, okay? Y remains 0, the reverse of these values, okay? Okay, and here, because it is more or less x plus 0, so the value is 0. So that's why she said P determines the x-intercept of the function and also represent the value of the minimum point, the x value at the minimum point, yes. Because in this case, the minimum point is here. It's quite different from this case where the intercept and the minimum point might be different. Okay, like this ones, the intercept and the minimum point are different. So here the intercept and the minimum point, the x value at the minimum point are the same. Okay, so that makes so much sense. One of the information to be completed says, complete this statement. If the quadratic function has the form that, then the it intersects the x-axis at that. I believe, I don't know if you got that or not. You can take a screenshot of the screen, so that's what it should be. Then the other one, if a quadratic has the form y equals this, then it touches x-axis at p comma 0, yes, which is the summary of what we've been talking about. Okay, does everybody get that? It's possible that's what you have said. If that's not what you have said, please take note by taking the screenshot and saving it. And if you want me to send it to our WeChat group, I'm happy to do that. So the last, I believe this is the last. Okay, yeah, that's the last. The second aspect, there are two aspects. So this is a general y equal, the previous one is when you have your quadratic in factorized form. You can see for questions 1, 2, and 3, it's in factorized form. Okay, so the other one is not in factorized form. Okay, does anybody remember what this looks like? We should have done it in Form 3. I'm sure I taught that, and maybe it was revised in Form 4. I don't know. What do we normally do to get quadratic? What kind of question are normally being asked to get quadratic up to this point? Anyone, quickly?
Completing the square.
Completing the square. Does everybody remember that? Completing the square. So so this is the completing the square format of it. All right, we can have it in different forms. Anyways, so if you have it in form of completing the square, what is the significance of this form? Okay, that's what this investigation is about. So after plotting, the first question is to find the coordinate, and we realize that they all have the same coordinate of the vertex. I'd already sent you what vertex is and all that. I think I sent that to you. Let's see. Just a sec, please. Okay, so I sent this to you earlier. I'm sharing that now. Where is it? Where is it? Yeah. Can everybody see this? Okay, so let's just go through it. The quadratic function is a parabola. This is not the first time you're hearing that. Where it turns is what we call the vertex, the turning point. When you study calculus, there will be another way of finding turning points, but in quadratic, we can always get a turning point using this technique. Okay, so if it is if the graph opens upward, it opens upward. You see, at the top, it opens. See, it opens here at the top. That's what I mean by that. And when it is the vertex, sorry about that. So the vertex is a minimum or minimum turning point. And this is a concave. So we say it is concave upward. Okay. Now, in this case, it will be the other one will be concave downward if you have it the other way. The line that divides it in half is the axis of symmetry, or some call it line of symmetry. Okay. So the equation of line of symmetry is usually in the form of x equals something, where x is, that's point where it passes through. Now we call it a line of symmetry because it divides into two equal parts, which means if this was a paper, you can actually fold it along that line and they're going to fit exactly. Okay, and The value of y where it crosses, of course, we know is the y-intercept. The value of x, if exists, is blah, blah, blah. The corresponding at the root, of course, you know all this. So this was shared last time with us, okay? I believe everybody, please make sure you save that and make a note in your notebook. Let's go back. Okay, so these are that's what I mean by the vertex here. Okay, I just expect everybody to have gone through it, but if not, so that's the reason we have to share that again. So here, what is the significance of A? Let's see what we have. A determine whether the graph is maximum or minimum, of course, just like the previous one as well. A is actually the coefficient of the first term. So the coefficient of the first term, without factorization, without putting in completing the square format, you can determine if it is going to be a maximum curve or a minimum curve. Okay, the smaller the value of A, the wider the graph is. Again, on the same axis, you have to do another plot. Okay, we have that. Then you have to find the vertex. So the vertex can easily be traced from the graph. And you will notice actually that it's this and this. That's where we're going. Okay, what's the significance of H and K? Now, she said the reverse of H. You could have just said the value of H, okay? The value of H. So that is the reverse of the bracket. The value of H is the X coordinate of the vertex, and K is the Y coordinate of the vertex. So basically, the minimum or the maximum value of the function is K. So if you look at it from here, okay, let's look at it. This would be a minimum graph. What front graph is this one? Okay, let's see from here. So for this in purple, you could see 3. This 3 is here, okay? That's the minimum because it's a minimum curve. That's the 3. Look at the one in red. That's the minimum, okay? The minimum is 4. Look at the one in orange. The orange is this. That's the minimum. The minimum is 1. Look at the one in green. The minimum is 4. Look at the one in blue. The minimum is -5. Look at the one in black. The minimum is -2. Okay? So it is minimum because the values of A are all positive. If this was, any of them was negative, you will get these values as the maximum values. That's what this is about. Okay? That's what it's about. And that's the maximum value is the Y coordinate, or the minimum value is the Y coordinate. The minimum or maximum value is usually the Y coordinate. There's a difference between point and value, okay? The point is a two-coordinate form, is in two-coordinate form, X, Y, that's a point. The value is just the Y alone, okay? So let's take note of that. If this is a quadratic function of that form, then the vertex will be, you just pick H and you pick K. H is the only one that will be reversed. This is the only one to be reversed. This is not reversed. It's exactly what you see, either plus K or minus K. So let's take note of that. Does this make sense, everyone? Does this make sense? Okay, so if you have mixed something out, please take note of that. One thing I also want to share is this. Where is that picture again? Okay, close this. Did I? No, I did not. Okay. Not this one. So this should be what you have. Someone is sending me something? No, okay. So this should be what you have. What's going on? Okay. So you could see this. So let's take this as the summary. If you have a quadratic graph, how do we find the equation of the line of symmetry? So look at this picture. You will notice that if the coordinates are P and Q, are you with me, everybody? If the coordinates are P and Q, the line of symmetry is the line that passes through the middle, right? Okay, so it's like finding the midpoint of a line segment. Okay, the midpoint here is always the sum of these two divided by 2. You agree? Please say something, not nodding, because I'm not looking at your faces at this point.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So if we can get this value of x, then we can write the equation of the line of symmetry. That's what they mean by this axis of symmetry. Okay, then the x coordinate is that x value. So there's a difference. The equation of line of symmetry is x is equal to something. The x coordinate of the vertex is this fraction. Can you see that? So please, let's take note of that. So if you have it in factorized form, okay? So take note if you have it in factorized form. If you have it in this factorized form, which is a perfect square now, okay? This is a perfect square. If you have it as a perfect square, let's say, trying to minimize this. I hope I captured this in the video, hopefully. Yeah, so if you have it in factorized form, okay, you will notice that, of course, particularly if you have this, definitely there is no way it crosses between either the upper y or lower y. It's either it is this form or it comes from under. Okay, let me write what I mean on the board. So you have this, so you can also, you have this now, you can also have this, that's what I mean. So it doesn't cross, okay? It stays in with either positive or negative. If you have y equals negative a, for example, then x minus b or maybe x plus b squared, because this is negative, you are going to have it in maximum form. So this will always be positive regardless of what x plus b is because of this square. So which means at the end everything is negative. So all your y values are negative. Worst case scenario, y is equal to 0, which is when it touches. Sorry, I'm gonna have to close my email with some of these notifications. All right, okay, so that's why you can have it in two forms. So let's go back and see what we're doing. Okay, so we have it in this form. The value of x here determines the line of symmetry. Remember, this is where it touches based on your investigation. It touches at h. If it touches at h, because of the nature of the curve, that is the point of the turning point, okay? Which means that is the symmetry. That's where the point of symmetry as well. So axis of symmetry or equation of line of symmetry will be x is equal to h. The value of x at the point is h. Then the vertex is h comma 0. Okay, let's take note of that. Then this can cross across two parts of the y-axis, either positive or negative. So this can cross across it. So that's why nothing was indicated. So it could be this, it could be that, you know, whatever, nobody cares. Here, we are particularly talking about the point of what do you call it? Maximum point or the minimum point. So let's see what I'm talking about, what I'm trying to talk about here. Okay, there we go. So again, when you write in that form, in the form A, maybe x plus b squared plus c, okay? The value of x that makes this is equal to 0 is the value of x at the turning point. And when this is equal to 0, y is equal to, so you can imagine, when this is equal to 0, this term is equal to 0, so y is equal to c. So c will be the value at that point, while x will be negative b at that point. So this c is the maximum or minimum value. This point is the maximum or minimum point. There's a difference between the point and the value. So let's take note of that. There's a difference. Point is a two-coordinate system. value is just the y part. And the vertex is this, the equation of line of symmetry is just x is equal to the value of that x coordinate. Okay, does this make sense, everyone? I'll send you the picture. I'll send you that picture on WeChat so you can take your time and take note of whatever that you need to put in your notebook. I'm logging onto my WeChat now. Okay, Form 5. Yeah, Mr. B, you want to share the food? Okay, just a sec.
I'm so hungry. I just woke up.
That's all right. That's all right. I told you to come to class with your food if you have any, so don't apologize for eating. I never apologize for eating. Just a sec, almost there. Okay. So, did you receive them? All right. So you want to take note of those points in your notebook and to guide you for the activity that we're going to be doing. So we're going to use this idea to sketch, okay? I'm going to assign some work from this page of the book. So I'm sharing my book now with you all. Can everybody see my book? Okay, so let's pick at random the first. Okay, maybe I write that on WeChat because I need this to be on the screen. So do questions 1. Let's pick from 1 because we can't do everything. No time. 1A, B, they look similar. Let's see what the difference is. Then 1F. Start with that. Then for 2, we should do to GH. Yeah, 2GH. 2GH. Okay. So do that, then 2GH. I will send a screenshot of this. So if you prefer to look at it on WeChat, I think you should do that so I'll leave the other picture on the screen. Okay. So I've sent the question to you guys on WeChat already. Oh, question 2 is a matching problem, not sketching problem. Okay, how about you guys just sketch? Do you get what I mean? Okay, just sketch. Okay, I'll create maybe some kind of quiz with this, then you can match it. And let's just sketch. Or I send you everything later, then you can match it yourself. But let's just sketch it on your own, sketch it yourself. And I'll be sending you question 3 as well. And tell you which one to do. Does anybody need to see the workings as example? Please signify if you need to. I'm also sending you additional notes from the book, since some of us don't have our book. So I send a picture of an example, but I'll send all the 3 examples. So if that will help anybody. So for the next one, I'll send you the example and the question that follow, and I'll tell you which one to do. So keep practicing then. You don't have to send to me, okay? So just practice. We'll only discuss when there is a problem. Did anybody just send to me? Is that Clarissa? Uh-oh. Mr. Chang, did you? Does he speak English?
No, I just want to know what it's like. Am I doing it right?
Okay, I'm checking now. Okay, so it's minimum, you're right. It crosses that, you're right. Then where is the Y? Oh. It crosses -2 and 4, that's perfect. Okay, so because it crosses at 2 and 4, so what is -2 plus 4 divided by 2? That is 1. So it crosses at 1. Okay, so when x is equal to 1, you have -3 times 3. Isn't that supposed to be -9?
You say it like that?
I'll show you again. Sorry, just a sec. Okay, so look at this. Can you see my screen? The book?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So let's begin with the first one. So the first thing you need to do is know that because of this 2 being positive, it's a minimum minimum type. Then this is -3 and 1. Perfect.
Mhm.
So if you had minus 3 plus 1, you get minus 2 divided by 2, that's minus 1. So that determines this one. Okay. Now, because you know this is minus 1, so you should use the minus 1 here. Okay. When you put the minus 1 here, okay, you also need to find this. Look at it. It stays using axis intercept. Okay, use the axis intercept. I don't think you need the minimum point at this time. Okay, so maybe just use the axis intercept. Let's see what the question says exactly. Okay, there's no minimum point needed, just the axis intercept. So just follow exactly what has been done here. The axis intercept means when x is equal to 0, what is y? So when x is equal to 0, this is 3 times minus 1, and that is minus 3, and then times this 2, that's minus 6. So just indicate that here.
Oh, okay.
Don't load, don't load, don't load. I don't need you now. So just indicate that here, and that's all.
Okay.
Okay, does everybody get this? So I sent you the example, just make use of this. If you need me to go through number 2, does anyone not need me to go through number 2? Signify. Do I need to go through this one? Is anyone raising their hands? No? Okay, so please let me know if you need me to go through an example with you. Leo?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Do you understand what I've just explained?
Yes.
Is it the same with what you're doing?
No, I'm doing 1.
No, I mean, are you doing that? Are you doing it like that? The way your Ethan and I just talked about it.
I'm doing like what the book says.
Exactly what the book says.
Yeah.
Using the example as a guide.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Let's see. I've asked from Clarissa. Krista K. Everything good?
Yeah.
What are you saying?
I said everything is good.
Speak louder, Krista. Stop whispering. Everything good? Okay. Miss K. Everything good? Callista?
Yeah.
Thank you, Karen. Callista, everything good? Callista, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Good. It's Nakita doing. What is that?
This is eye straw.
Oh. So you can see all the invisible formula clearly?
I hope so.
Okay. Brandy has gone to get another round of food, I'm sure. I don't trust that dude. He's getting to get food. Lillian, all good?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So if anyone needs help, please speak to me or just speak to the class, and I'm sure someone will be glad to chip in some advice. So what you could do is send me one of the question that you did, maybe one in question 1, one in question 2, so I could check if everything is in order. Okay, but if you think you have followed the example thoroughly, then you don't need to worry. But if you need me to check, not for grading, just to check if all is in order, send that to me. Okay? Mr. Chang, all good?
Yep.
Good. So before our next class, I'll prepare more worksheets on this. And I wanted to give you work from last time. I haven't forgotten. I forgot, sorry. I'll find time to do that. We have a problem with next week, Wednesday. We'll talk about that much later. Unfortunately, one of the teachers has chosen my class time and it's messing up with a lot of my program. So we're gonna have to maybe do what we did the last time, not using the normal 12 to 1-ish. We're probably gonna meet later in the day because we need to actually have those 3 sessions. Okay, we'll discuss it. We'll look at our convenient time. I'm free on Thursday, but obviously you guys are not free on Thursday, so we might have to find a time. If you want to come on by 7 p.m., I'm game. If you want to come on by 4 p.m., I'm available. But we'll discuss that maybe through the WeChat group much later. Okay. I actually clicked the email immediately. It was sent, and someone already took the spot, and I'm like, what's going on here? I tried to find a way around it, and nothing is working so far. So I thought, okay, we'll fix it ourselves. Okay, waiting. Okay, I'm getting some reports from some aliens sending me work on WeChat. Oh, alien Crystal, we got your work. You know, I mean, the Crystal, the whispering Crystal. Both of them are whispering Crystal, actually. They don't speak louder. No, one doesn't speak at all. She knows herself. She can hear me right now. Okay, she's not looking at the camera. She doesn't speak at all. Crystal C, that's you. Don't pretend you don't know. Then one speaks quietly. Okay, so Crystal K, I'm checking now. Sketch using the axis intercept and state the axis of symmetry. The problem I have with this workings, Crystal, is that you stated the axis of symmetry at the beginning. It's meant to be, you know, seen immediately from the graph. Even the example didn't start with the axis of symmetry. If you look at the example that I shared with you, do you understand what I mean? So let's look at that example again. So you see the first thing isn't the axis of symmetry. As a matter of fact, okay, yeah, axis of symmetry is one of the questions. Let's see what I'm sharing. Yeah, you can see the book, right? Okay. Yeah, we could use anyone anyway. So the first thing, this is the first thing, this calculation here, that's the first thing, not the graph. Get out. So that's the first thing, not the graph. Okay, the calculation comes first, and the calculation only has the intercept. You indicate the intercept, you indicate what is y when x is equal to 0, and after that you graph it. That's all you have to do in number 1. The question never said find the axis of symmetry. That wasn't part of the question. Oh, that's part of the question. That's part of it. It says state the axis of symmetry. So the axis of symmetry is x equal to 1. Okay, now I see what you're doing. Now I see what you're doing. Crystal, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I think the first thing should be your intercept, not your axis of symmetry. Okay, so arrange it in that order because your x-intercept determines your axis of symmetry, right? It is only with the knowledge of -3 and 1 in this example that you're able to determine that the axis of symmetry is x equal to 1, which is the midpoint of -3 and 1. So you don't get that -1 before you figure out your -3 and 1. Do you understand? It's just the order. Everything looks perfect. Well done. It's just the order. Then 0 minus 8, okay, that's your intercept. Try to sketch it such that your y-intercept doesn't look like the minimum point. Understand? Crystal? Okay, so if you look at the picture you sent to me, it looks like your minimum point is 0 minus 8, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that's not what it is. That's just the y-intercept. That's not the minimum point. This question isn't about minimum point. It's about y-intercept. Look at the example on the screen. Can you see the screen? Can you see this point? Can you see my cursor?
Yes.
Okay, can you see this? This is the intercept, not this. Okay, not this. As a matter of fact, your minimum point will be when x is equal to, so the curve should have actually looked like this. The curve should pass through x is equal to 1. Your own curve doesn't pass through that point because that point is actually your line of symmetry. That's where your axis of symmetry passes through. So come with me to the board. So let's draw the x and y axis as this. Let's put it here. Doesn't look right. OCD plus plus. Okay, so you have this. Now, from your calculation, I'm not going to write all the calculation. You already got x is equal to 1, right? And you already have some broken lines. So when you draw that broken line, I can't draw broken line here, unfortunately. So I'm just going to change the color to this. X is equal to 1. Can you see this?
Yes.
So this is your axis of symmetry. This is where your turning point passes through. What are the intercepts that you figure out? You figure out the intercept are x is equal to -2 and x is equal to 4. And it makes sense. X is equal to 4. This is x is equal to 1. The gap is 3. Right? Change the color. X is equal to 4. X is equal to 1. This is x is equal to 1. So the gap here is 3. 3 steps more. So you have this. Something like that. Okay? Something like this. So now what is your, when x is equal to 0, y equals 8? Maybe here. So your turning point is somewhere on this line, but that's not the intercept. So let's say the intercept is here. Your turning points will be here. So when you're sketching, your sketch should look like this. It turns here. This is where it turns. It doesn't turn here. It turns here. So your turning point should be on this line that I've drawn in pink or whatever that color is. Okay? And it's not meant to be a perfect curve. So don't worry about it. It doesn't look perfect. It's a sketch. Okay? But so adjust the rest if you have done it this way. Please send me something so I could check if you have done something right. Good. Nakita? Nakita?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm checking the work you sent now, one of them. So I couldn't really differentiate between, what is your intercept again? 8. Okay. And your turning point is on x equals 1. But it looks like your x equals 0.8 or 0.5 is your turning point. Did you see that?
Yeah.
So what you could do is just to extend that curve a bit higher. So like this, look at the screen. So you have this line here, yeah? So you are coming from here, you pass through 8, try to take it a bit higher so the turning point can be on this line so it's very visible, okay? It's not so obvious, but you know, you want to avoid your turning point being at the topmost indeed, not being at the same level with some other point. It's the turning point, that should be the maximum point of that curve.
Okay.
That's just a minor thing I want to talk to you about. Callista, I'm checking yours now. Callista, can you say something, please?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm checking what you sent now. I think your approach should be emulated by the others. Everybody, this is what Calista did.
Chào Tân là có trong sân nó
Hi, we're in the class.
hơi kích động lên.
Whoever that is.
Đây. Chào Hoa Lan.
Is that your mom, dad, sister, brother? Who's that?
Sister.
Okay, still there. Your sister. Hi, sister. We're working now. Come back later.
She wants to order lunch.
Oh, okay. Order for everybody. We're just 11 in the class. Well, except Brandon, so forget about him. We're not sharing with him. Okay, so this is what I noticed Calista did. So it might work for everybody else. So she did this. Okay, I need your attention, young lady. I need your attention. Do I have your attention now?
Yeah.
Thank you. Everybody, Calista did this. So after she did this, she put this coordinates -2, 0. She put this 0, -8, and she put this 4, 0. Calista, the only thing is you didn't put your equation of axis of symmetry. So why I want everybody to pay attention to this is that this could help you draw a better curve. I think you should draw the curve first, put the axis. No one is measuring if this is 4 and this is 2 anyway. Class, can you hear me, everybody? Okay.
Yeah.
It's measuring anyway. So after you have done this, then look at the turning point. This looks like the turning point, yeah? Then I use this point to draw my axis of symmetry. And I put my ruler, so it's easier. It's easier to have my axis of symmetry here after I draw the curve. Okay, I think what some of you are trying to do, which, you know, I probably made the same mistake here. I did this, I got this first, I got my axis of symmetry, then I'm trying to fit in the curve to pass through the point, which becomes difficult. So I think the best thing is to draw the curve and make sure the line passes through it. Does that make sense, everyone? That might make your sketch easier, okay? Thank you for that. So Calista, I think you're missing the axis of symmetry. You should draw that line. That's what is missing in your work. All right, everything other thing looks good. Well done, people. Let's see, Leo, checking now. Leo. Very good, Leo. Leo, where you at? Where is it? Okay, there you are.
Yes.
The only thing is you wrote -8 and blah, blah, blah. So write your coordinates in this form. Can you see my screen?
Okay, okay.
Not just 4. Everything looks good. Everything looks good. Well done. Crystal K, you made an adjustment. Bravo. Good girl. Good, quiet girl. Hey, where's the quiet girl? Good, quiet. She's smiling. I can see her smile. That's good. That's all I need. That's smile. Hopefully I see the smile in real life very soon because I miss those smiles. Everybody smile. Crystal C, checking. Crystal C, looks good. Pay more attention to your sketch by, let the curve come down a little bit. Okay, can you hear me? Crystal? Okay.
Yes.
So you just have something like this. Just have something like this. You get what I mean? We need it extended. Understood? So, and also the wide label. The wide label is like on this. Can you see? Okay, so avoid that. So you want the y to be away from this because that's not it. Then write your coordinates as this. Look. Okay, write it like that. So that's all. That's all. That's all. If you look at the example, let's see. Okay, Yeah, that's basic. I think you're following exactly what's in the book, so I don't blame you, but you know, I think it would be nice to have it in that form. I'll take this if you do this as well, as long as you take care of other things. But sometimes it's okay to write 4 minus 2, 2 minus 0, blah, blah, blah. Understood? All right, good job, good job, good job. Mr. B, the notice man. Brandy?
Yes.
So you see that minus 2, 0? It looks like you are labeling the origin.
Oh, okay. I write it on the other side.
Yeah, so you want to write it properly. And your 0 minus 8 looks like it's just far away on the 4th quadrant. It's not looking like it's on the intercept.
Okay.
And try to, maybe, I don't know, you want the curve to go down a little bit. I'll show you something. So mine looks like what you did, so I'm not excluded from this mistake. So look at this. So if you could have something like this, where your intercept is far away from here, we can see that they are not in the same level. The intercept in your sketch looks so close to this point. Okay, so avoid that. Apart from that, I think you're good.
Okay.
Good job. This is a better sketch. Well done. Thank you, everybody. Well done. Well done. Well done. Ms. K.
Yes. Yes.
I haven't got anything from you. Okay.
Because I did question 2 first, and then because I didn't see question 1, so I'm doing question 1.
Even after the session, just send me what you have done, just to look and be able to give you some feedback. That's all. That's why I really need it. Okay. So as you can see, I'm correcting what people might have done wrong or not so good, or even sharing what looks so good. So you might have something that others need to see, and you might have something that you didn't do correctly. So that's why. Thank you. Mr. Chen, did you send me something? Yes, he did.
I thought the one in the beginning was already enough.
What?
I already sent you something in the beginning, right?
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. Okay, that's good. Saw that. Clary, just get your work. Okay, that's question 3. Okay, make sure you send something about from question from 1 and 2 as well. Okay, so I could see them. All right, sir, do you hear that? All right. Whoever is sending the ID to Gary, please come. I remove him from not. Karen, that's it. That's your work. Check him now.
Okay.
Karen, for question 1,
Yes.
show you, let's come to the board together. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
All right. So if you look at question 1, let's start from here. Look at question 1. We want you to write maybe x is equal to a, y is equal to 0, or maybe just a. That's fine the way you did it. But I can't see your y-intercepts.
Oh, because I did question 2 first.
Oh, that's question 2. Oh, my bad.
Oh wait, am I still supposed to write the intercept for question 2?
No. Wait. I thought that was question 1.
Oh,
I'm looking at question 1 now.
okay. Wait, so for question 2, you don't need to write the y-intercept? Or
Let's see, what does the question say? Checking the question now. Question 2 says, sketch. Okay, because I asked you not to match. Sketch. Just follow what you did from the previous one also. Because when you're sketching, someone is sending me a chat, you need to speak, guys. Okay, got it, Mr. Chang. Okay, so for that question, where is it again? I say sketch, because although this question says match, but I say sketch. All right. So when you're sketching, X-intercept, Y-intercept should be indicated, and they are, those are the important features. Remember, sketch has rational functions. We talked about the asymptote, we talked about the intercept, we talked about, those are the 2 major things that we talked about. They are very significant parts of any sketch. So do the same for question 1.
okay.
Just find the y-intercept and draw the line. Okay. Just find the y-intercept, and that's when x is equal to 0. If you put x is equal to 0, you can draw the line. So your line is either on the left of your axis or on the right of your axis. So you don't need to erase anything. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right, good. Everything looks good apart from that. Well done.
Okay.
Let's see who is next. Clarissa.
Yes.
Checking now. In calculation, Clarissa, so I can see minus bracket minus 4, 2 is equal to 8, y is equal to 8. What are you calculating?
Y-intercept.
So do you want to write something to indicate what that is about?
Okay.
Just that, you get what I mean, right?
Yeah.
So if you look at what I'm looking at now, the book, the example that I shared, did you see? So this wasn't what was written. When it got to 0, then y-intercept is this, just give us some explanation so we understand what you're doing.
Okay.
All right, good job, well done. Miss V, I got 2 work from you. It's Vanna there. Hi, Vanna.
Hello. Hi.
How are you? You seem quiet. What's going on?
I'm just tired.
Tired?
Yeah.
Sorry about that. We're going to be, it's actually 1:50. So we're going to wrap up soon.
Okay.
Do you have class today? Do you still have any class today?
I have just physics later.
Do you have class?
Yeah, I have another class later. And quite a lot of assignments due today.
What time? What time?
Physics is at what, 2:30?
2:30. Okay.
2:30?
Hopefully you still have, you can rest before that class. Okay, so I'm looking at that. I think it looks okay. Looks okay. You send me F, right? In one of the
yeah.
F. Okay. Then I think
1F.
1F. Okay. Then I can see 2G as well. Okay, great. Y-intercept indicated. That minus 10 is the other X-intercept, right? In 2G.
Yeah.
It's it's just intersecting with. I don't want it to look like it's talking about that line. So
yeah, but if I put it on the other side, it looks like I'm labeling the origin.
Oh, I know it's weird. That's okay. We understand. What you can do, if you think the 2 bracket coordinate system is confusing because of your label, just write -1 only there.
Okay.
Allowed. Just write that only. Okay, everything looks good. Well done.
Okay.
Mr. Leo got another work from you. Good job, Leo. Wonderful, wonderful. Well done, Mr. Leo.
Wait, how do we do number 2?
Let's see, what's it called? Number 2, I ask you to sketch, just like number 1.
Do we just draw it or
Yeah, just sketch.
how do we match it?
Do what you did in number 1. Do you understand that?
Wait, I didn't hear that.
Just do exactly what you did in number 1.
Okay, okay.
The instruction in the book is not the same as the instruction I'm giving you.
Okay,
The book says match. Do you know why? Because the graphs are already here. You are just supposed to,
okay,
but I don't want you to do that. Okay, so
Okay.
you catch the ones I gave you yourself, basically.
okay.
Okay, everyone. Looks like I've gotten 1 or 2 things from everybody. So I'll send you a comprehensive worksheet. Feel free to, play around it. If I'm not able to send you the worksheet, I will just send you pictures of the book, all right? So that you can do practice. Then we'll continue from here on Monday. Is that okay, everyone? Okay, any questions?
Okay.
Anybody?
Yes. No.
No?
No.
All right, time to say bye. Take care of yourself.
Bye.
Have a great weekend.
Bye.
Rest.
Bye bye.
All right. Stay healthy. Stay safe.